Just gonna go by very slowly. Sorry, mate. Just clip his wheel, maybe. Oh no! Oh no! That was a terrible idea. Hello gamers and welcome back to the Armbar Arcade. I'm Nay and today I'm going to be checking out Race Pro on the Xbox 360. Now I don't know a whole lot about this game, I only just picked it up. It looked interesting. It looks like a kind of touring cars game. You've got the Seat and some other cars up there, but I haven't really played it. It's developed by Atari. And yeah, I'm just going to dive in and see what happens. We're going to go for a single race to start with. Let's have a look at the tracks. We've got Anderstorp Raceway. I'm assuming that's in Sweden. Oh yeah, there we go. Track Anderstorp. Location Sweden. Yeah. Okay, so if I'd been reading the screen, I would have seen that anyway. They've got Brands Hatch. That's pretty local. They've got Brno Circuit, which is in the Czech Republic. Curitiba, Laguna Seca, which is from, well, it's not from Gran Turismo, but it's definitely in Gran Turismo. Macau, Monza. We know Monza well from Ferrari Challenge. They got the Motorsport Arena, I'm not going to pronounce that. Circuit de Pau, France, Porto, Road America, Valencia, and Van der Voort, or Van Zandvoort. One of those. I'm going to go for Brands Hatch, but that's a pretty good selection of tracks, to be honest. That's all the sort of touring car tracks you'd expect. Let's have a look at the cars. We got a Mini Cooper. Could go for the Mini Cooper. In fact, I think they're only going to allow us to play with the Mini Cooper for now. So let's choose a livery. Team Spicy. That's me. I'm on Team Spicy. We're going to go for novice controls because I don't know how hard this game is, whether it's simulation or arcade. Okay, here we are on the starting grid. We've all got Mini Coopers. We're at Brands Hatch, and I don't know how this game handles, so we're going to see if it's arcadey or simulation. It feels simulation at the minute, bit Gran Turismo. We're going to come up the outside, or the inside, I suppose, for this corner and just overtake everyone. We've got a braking line, so we're going to try and pay some attention to that so we don't just fall off at the first corner. We've made it to the outside. The guys in front of us don't seem to be too expert at this track because we've just passed everyone, so we are in first, which is probably a first for simulation racing gaming that I haven't played. Like, I'm usually take a little time to get used to the games that I play when they're simulation handling, but this is kind of in between. It's got some simulation, some arcade sort of feels. There's the grid. I was actually trying to find the look back button, but we're going to have to take this corner before we try and do that again. No, that's some sort of gear down. Here we go, we can change view, so there's the driver view, we can look around. Probably best not to do that in the middle of a race though. We can have the front of the car, we can have this one, which gives us a little rear view mirror to look behind with, and we are actually cleared the field a little bit. We've got a little bit ahead, so this must be on proper novice difficulty. There we go, there's the look back, and there's no one behind us. We are leading the pack by quite a way, as we should be really, because Brands Hatch is kind of our home circuit, I guess. It's the closest one anyway, the closest proper circuit. Tight little turn coming up. I don't know Brands Hatch that well, like for a track that's near me I haven't ever raced around it or anything. I'm sure you can do track days or something there, but it's just never been something that's piqued my interest, especially with a Toyota Yaris. You know, it's hard to take that on a track day when people are taking their sports bikes and whatnot around the track. Gonna hit the apex there, proper racing line and everything. 12 seconds in front of the car behind us. We might have to switch this up to like semi-pro difficulty because we are really starting to lead the pack. So we're just going to take a tour of the grassland here. On your left you'll see some hyenas and giraffes. That's not a wildlife park, it is Brands Hatch. We'll get back on the track. I've never really been a big fan of games that have the braking line laid out for you on the track. Like, I think that's a bit too much help. You know, if you're going to play a simulation game, you don't want to be like, oh, I need to brake here because the road said so. Like, you should be looking at the road if you're going to enjoy a simulation game to the full. I mean, it's good for beginners, I guess. It might turn off in semi-pro mode, which, I mean, I'll probably end up flying off the track if that happens, but I'd like it to be my fault rather than just ignoring the braking line. I've also discovered that you can get rid of the speedometer if you just don't care how fast you're going. I mean, that's never been something that I personally would want to do, but it's an interesting feature. It kind of takes away all the elements of the heads-up display apart from the track map. Hot air balloon there in the distance. Why is it there's always hot air balloons at racetracks? Like, there's two things that always appear in simulation racetracks. It's hot air balloons and, like, Ferris wheels. There's always a Ferris wheel. There's a Ferris wheel at Suzuka. There's a Ferris wheel anywhere you can imagine in Gran Turismo. They love putting those in. I think there's one at Saab as well. Well, now we've mastered the controls and are probably about half a minute, 27 seconds in front of anyone else in a Mini. I think it's time to get some real opponents. So we're going to try out career mode here, and we've got different types of racing from A to H. A is the first type of racing, but I feel like we've progressed past the novice style of racing, so we're going to go for B. All the rest are locked. Our current credit balance is 300, but we have to beat a lap time to earn a place on the team, and then when we race for the team we can earn more credits in the 3 races that we do for the team while we're under contract, if that makes any sense. I think I'm going to go for RSM Motorsport tryouts because look at the car. Just look at the car. I've selected semi-pro because I thought novice was too easy, but I'm starting to regret that because this car is way more powerful than the Mini Cooper. Like, way more powerful. But it should help us to do a 142 lap. As long as we're not in the sand. So the braking line doesn't really apply to this car. Like, it's got better brakes than the braking line thinks you have. But also, if it says to go all out, sometimes you end up just flying off the track because it is too powerful here. The acceleration is just too much. Are we going to make 142? I don't think so this time. But next time it shouldn't be too hard because we made a 144 when we weren't even really trying, and I think we went off the track a few times and we were getting used to the car. So a 142 should be on this lap, and we're coming up on the finish line. Have we done enough to do a 142 or better? Oh, that wasn't a great turn there, but I think we might have done it. Are we on for the 142? I think we're on for the 142. We're on for the 140. Very nice. It's a good car, you know, the racing in this game feels good. I mean, it's everything I would want from a touring car game thus far. Let's see how it does proper races. So each contract has 3 races where you'll earn points based on your finishing position. Winning gives you 10, with 8 and 6 for the following 2 positions at the end. You'll earn credits depending on your total points, and if you get enough points in 3 races you can unlock a special trophy car with different ones to be run for novice, semi-pro and pro contracts. So we're in a semi-pro contract here. Let's just try our best. So we're in a field of 8 cars. I'm not sure they're all the same car though, I can't tell. I think they might all be Radical SR3s. It's hard to tell with all the different liveries, and there's some of them behind us. So we've sort of worked out the handling for this car, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come off the track a little bit. They sound nice though, nice sounding little cars. Just got to try not to fall off the track here. Coming up by the hot air balloon once again. Brands Hatch has sort of been our home track so far. We haven't tried out any of the other tracks, but I will endeavour to do so before the end of this episode. Hopefully we'll get a race on some different tracks, maybe another contract or something, just to close out. Oh, getting near the edge of that corner there. We came off a little bit, but the car behind us is 2 seconds behind, so we're still ahead of the pack here. Our skills holding out against these other Radical SR3s. Or at least that's what the game tells me they are. I hope that's the actual car, because it said the Caterham, so I think they've got the licenses for the cars. The Mini Cooper was also licensed. If not, then you can tell me in the comments what the cars actually are. But yeah, as a kid I always wanted a kind of touring cars racing game, because I like the concept of, you know, everyone being in the same car, so the skills were what mattered, rather than, you know, Formula 1 and that you'd see, oh, they've got the best car, so they win because they've got the best car, and it's like, well, where's the skill in that? I mean, there is some. Obviously, you've got to drive a 200-mile-an-hour machine incredibly precisely, but I don't know, I just like the idea of everyone being in a Seat and having to fight for position because they're all in a Seat, you know. Oh, we're holding on there at the corner. This is quite thrilling racing, actually, and I might suggest this to AJ, see what he thinks of the game as well. I only picked this up quite recently. on the weight of it looking kind of cool. I didn't know it was specifically touring cars. I was just like, oh, Race Pro, that's a racing game I've never heard of. I quite like to check them out, you know. I mean, AJ is probably the bigger racing game fan of the both of us, but I play all games once. I mean, I'm not that hot on shooters. That's the only type of games that I kind of am very picky about. I'm like, oh, it's a first-person shooter. It's got to be at least kind of interesting. Racing games, as long as you got, you know, touring cars or just some sort of unique aspect to the game, I think I'll enjoy them. Tried to unlock every car in Gran Turismo 4. When I played that, I think I got to about 707 cars and I was like, that's enough. I'm not unlocking the Model T by getting a gold in all the S-Class licensed races. There's just no need for that. But I think we've learned how to drive the Radical pretty quickly. We got a good 2 or 3 seconds on the guys behind us. It's been pretty fun. Like, I felt on the edge. I haven't felt like, oh, yeah, I'm out in front. I'm like, oh, at any time I could mess up and get overtaken. But we're coming through to take our first race victory. Or proper race victory anyway. I mean, the Mini didn't really count. We won by a mile. Awesome. So we got 10 points for our team contract. And we're on to the next race. So the next race is at Oscherleben, which is a track we haven't tried. But we're going to have to get good at fairly quickly because we've got to do a race there. That's quite a nice feature. There's track tips, so it tells you all about different parts of the track. Before the race, you can see which corners are dangerous ones and all that sort of thing. I like that. Whether or not I'm going to take notice of it is a different thing. But we're going to start from 7th position here on the grid. There was no qualifying or anything, so we're just going to have to overtake everyone. Or undertake everyone. Go through the middle if we have to. Oh dear, there's a turn here, there's a turn. I didn't notice there was a turn, I'm so sorry. Please just take the places back. So yeah, this is going to be more of a learning experience as we go, but we have got our friend the braking line to let us know when we should brake. This is more like a road track, I guess. I think that's what they're called. Lots of little tight turns. Reminds me of one of the tracks in Forza, I think it was. Maybe it was like Road America or something. You can tell me what this is similar to. I can't recall off the top of my head. But we're going to try and be fast enough within these 2 laps to overtake all these guys in front of us. Although there's less places to overtake than at Brands Hatch, so we're going to have to be smart with our overtaking. Try and do some turns better than these guys and get a bit of Dive Bomb City going. Oh, it's sliding around a little bit. We've let someone through. We have got the 10 points from the first race, just in case we're going to need them to improve our contract standing. You know, it's hard when you win just one race and then you're like, well, I did win that first race. I know that I came like 8th in the others, but, you know, can you blame me? I've never been to Germany before. I did go to Berlin once, but I'm assuming that's not where this track is located, because that's not what it's called. Berlin Velodrome or something. That'd be cycling, obviously. Anyway, end of lap 1 and we are 6th, which isn't as good as the last race, but we were at home for that one, so obviously we didn't have all the constraints of flying and whatnot to the race, but we have just undertaken a couple of guys to take 4th place here. This is a speedy corner. I'm afraid that we're just going to fall off, start sliding off a little bit, like drifting, but it's a very powerful car. It feels like it anyway. I mean, I don't know what the real powerful cars in this game are going to feel like. If you had like a Dodge Viper or something, I'm sure it would feel terrifying. But this is enough for me. It may only be the semi-pro first race series, but this is enough. We've gone flying off the track. That's not good. That is not good. We're just going to have to sort of cut the track by quite a long way. I don't know if there's a penalty for that or something, but we're going to rejoin basically where we were before the incident happened. I think we were abducted by aliens briefly there. It's happened before. In Le Mans 24 Hours we were abducted by aliens. Tiff Needell would... I've got a warning for cutting the track there, or was that like a retroactive warning for cutting the track when I took a huge slice out of it? I think I need to come 3rd to earn any points in the race, because they said there were 8 and 6 points respectively for finishing 2nd and 3rd, but they didn't say anything about 4th, so I think we need to come through and take a position before we get to the finish line, which might be a little bit of an ask because the finish line is really coming up, but we are zooming through to hopefully come past these guys? Maybe. Let's try and slipstream or something. Come on, let me slipstream. Let me slipstream. I'm not going to get by him, am I? I'm not. 4th place. Oh, we got 5 points. That's alright. I don't know how many points we need to, like, do well in our contract, but 5, some points is okay. Okay, we got 15 points here. So bronze is 18 to 23. So we only need to come, like, 5th or 6th, maybe. But if we want a silver, we're going to have to come 1st. So let's see how we do at ABDUCTED. Looks like a bit of a boxy track, to be honest. There's a lot of kind of hairpins and 90-degree turns here. And so the final race of this contract. Starting 7th once again. And here we go. We're going to try and cut through the field, because that really worked for us when we were at Brands Hatch. We cut through the field, and then we just stayed out in front. And I think that's the way to go. Because even if you make a mistake, they struggle to get past you. Like you'd rather it be them struggling to get past you than you struggling to get past them. We're going to try and slipstream here and then come out to overtake, but he doesn't want us to do that, so he's going to try and block. It's a long straight, but we need to get ready to brake for a 90-degree turn at some point. It says sort of now, so we're going to try now, and then back on the gas. I mean, he clearly cut the track there. Do you want to give him a warning or something for that? You know, a little bit of a penalty. We'll just come through. That's his penalty. He's had to give up a place. Do you mind, mate? Don't take the place back. I could see this becoming one of my favourite sort of touring car racing games, actually. It's feeling good so far. I don't know how it's going to progress. Obviously, you get harder licenses, probably faster cars and whatnot, stiffer competition. But for semi-pro, this is very manageable. Like, I could probably step up to professional with some practice, I hope. They turn all the driving aids off is the only problem, so I might struggle a little bit. But it's good to have a challenge in this sort of game. You know, you don't want to make everything too easy for yourself, because everything would be like a 1-point A-spec race in Gran Turismo. You want sort of a 100 A-spec point race. 200's too many, I feel. That's like entering the sort of classic car cup in a Triumph Spitfire and hoping that it beats out the Stingray. We've just come off a little bit there, but it's okay. We've just allowed them to catch up slightly to us. We're still first. It's kind of a longish track. But we're coming up to that big straight again, so if we can get away from the pack there, we should hopefully have a little bit of a lead to take into the rest of the track. There we go, we are away from the pack a little bit. I don't know whether wind resistance is going to play a factor and they'll catch us up through some sort of slipstreaming, but let's hope not. Hitting a nice 137 miles an hour there. We're going to start braking for this corner because I think we're going to have to. It's gripping the track well though, it's good. It doesn't feel too heavy and it doesn't feel too light. It's not difficult to steer, but it's also not like arcadey so that I'm drifting through the corners. This is a really nice handling model. I'm honestly very impressed with this game as a simple curiosity pickup. So we're coming up to the difficult corners that we didn't do particularly ideally on last time, but we're going to try. There we go, cut the speed out a little bit here. We got a hairpin of sorts coming round. Just a very long corner. It's like a very long 3 right, as the rally co-driver might say. Holding the road there, and then okay. I wasn't actually expecting that corner, and we have been punished for not actually expecting that corner. But can we still win the race? Can we still win the race? It would be amazing, but I think we're actually going to still win the race, even after that huge mistake. We've come through for the win. Wow, okay. We built up enough of a lead around the last bit of the circuit that didn't matter, but that was an absolutely terrible performance at the end there. 10 points and silver for that contract. Whew. So we completed the contract, giving us 550 credits and a silver rating. Or a bronze? Okay, a bronze rating. They didn't give us a silver. I know we got both a bronze and a silver, I guess. That's fine. We've unlocked sea trials. Let's see what the cars are. We've got a Caterham. We've got another Radical SR4. Or we got the Formula BMW. It's going to have to be the Formula BMW, guys. Definitely. 600 credits to sign. We've just got 600 credits, so we're going to have to complete the tryout. Let's see where it is. Wow, that's a badly written tip. If you steering inputs affect the, 2 mistakes in the very first sentence of that. Alright, we've got to do this track in 1 minute 48 seconds. I don't know which track it is, but that just makes it more fun. Now, how fast are Formula BMW cars? I wonder. This is quite a tight turn here. It's like a 90-degree into some sort of hairpin. The brakes are good though. It's a different type of handling. I'm loving this. The cars have different handlings. I mean, that's what you want from a simulation racing game. You wouldn't want a Formula BMW to feel like any other car because they're different cars. They have different handlings and, you know, different feels overall. The overall graphics look pretty nice as well. Like, the racetracks don't look too bad. There's no real wow factor to them, but as long as they look like racetracks, I'm not too concerned, you know. It's all about the racing rather than what it looks like. Although it can be nice. I mean, like the rain effects and stuff from Project Cars I was really impressed with, but the fact that it was unplayable on pad obviously made it slightly worse. I don't have a steering wheel set up and I'm not planning on getting one, so I'd like to be able to play my game with a controller. This one, completely playable with a controller, so it gets extra points. I wonder how it would work with a wheel. It might be really good with a wheel, I don't know. Don't have a wheel to test it. I mean, 360 wheels, I'm sure they exist. I have indeed cut the track, I apologise. I was just seeing where it was. I think it's invalidated our lap time, has it? I don't know. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. No, okay. It invalidated our lap time because we cut the track, but we are entirely capable of doing a 148. We just have to do it. Okay, 1 lap worth of good driving later, and we are well on course to get a 148. I think we can get about a 140. Yeah, nice. 8 seconds off the required time, so they should put us in the pro leagues. See, that's probably the only thing I don't like about this game is the fact that it makes you play the first track of each series as the tryout track, which means you have to play it straight away after as the first one of the contract. Like, I'd love to show you more of the tracks in this game, but we've had to sort of repeat quite a few of them. And I'm curious as to, like, Macau and some of the other ones, how they're going to look and race. That said, the Formula BMW is performing nicely. It's got a nice bit of handling. Just going to slide off the track a little bit. But we're still in first place because the AI is a little bit incompetent. But maybe if we switched it up to professional mode, they'd really come for our positions. But I think they are now. Yeah, he's really coming for our first position here. He might get it as well with the way we're driving. But we're going to take it back. I'm going to pressure him. I think he's on my team as well, so can't be letting him through. There's no I in team, and I want to win. Just gonna go by very slowly. Sorry, mate. Just clip his wheel, maybe. Oh no! Oh no! That was a terrible idea. That was a very, very bad idea. We should not have clipped his wheel, and I apologise. Probably gonna get a track cutting warning for that, but most of it was not my fault. You know, if there's any independent adjudicators for track cutting, clearly I was catapulted through the air due to no fault of my own. Anyway, we're 5th, so it hasn't gone that badly, even though it has gone fairly badly. That's a corner. Just going to bump into a few of the cars, you know, take my positions back. Rightfully, I should be in first here. It was my opponent who should have flown off into oblivion, but that did not happen. Gonna undertake you. Very nice. I guess there is no undertaking in racing, it's all just overtaking, but I always feel like it's the motorway, you know, just undertaking people. Gonna fly around this corner and overtake you! Dive Bomb City? Dive Bomb City, yes! We've done a Dive Bomb City! Are you proud of me now? Probably not, because he's just taking the position right back. Anyway, this is a 3-lap race, so we've got one more chance to come through and overtake everyone in the next lap. As long as we don't drive off the track like that, but we're doing okay. Probably should have braked for that corner, but we're just going to bump into the car in front of us and use that as a brake. It's not against the rules, probably. Maybe it is. I mean, that's got to be against the rules. If bumping into other cars is against the rules, that's a blatant disrespect of my car. This guy is trying to get on my bad side. He won't like me when I'm angry. I don't think there's any damage in this game, but if there was, I'd be tempted to do the golden age of racing and just come around the track the wrong way and try and flip him off. Flip him off the planet, that is. Dive Bomb City! Oh yeah. Oh, no, there he is. I was looking behind me like, haha, I've overtaken you. Oh, you've overtaken me back. Probably worth slowing down here a little bit. Right, here we go. We've overtaken our mortal enemy. We're going to come through for the win. The unlikely win after falling off the racetrack completely after clipping wheels with him. That's why he's our arch nemesis, but he will be defeated today. Final corner, here we go, we're in first place. It can't go wrong from here, surely. How does it feel? He's miles behind us. We've embarrassed him there. Oh, the finish line is a bit further. How does it feel, James Burgess? I don't know if that's a real driver or whether that's just like a made up name. I mean, Eddie McHam. That's got to be made up, surely. John Shoemaker. Come on, game. How silly do you think I am? Well, we're going to close out this video with race 2 of this series because the last one's at Brands Hatch and you've seen enough Brands Hatch, but this is Curitiba, which we haven't done yet. So this looks like a fairly fast track from the layout. Nice straight there, some nice sort of wide turns, I guess. Probably good for a Formula BMW, so this is a good track to end with. It's been a really good game, actually. I've been impressed. I probably will play more of it in the coming week and just enjoy that. I'm going to try and get ahead here on the first straight before the turns begin. Slide in there. Oh, we've been pushed out, but we're back in. No, no. Hey, hey. That's it. Slide him out, boys. It's a bit of a dirty racing series, this one. We just enjoy smashing into each other, but I guess because there's no damage, there's no real consequences to just slamming into your opponents. There's another turn. We've got to remember to slow down for turns. That's one thing that has just eluded me this entire race series, is slow down for turns. Do not take them at full speed. So this looks like a fairly wide turn coming up. We're going to slow down a little bit, but I don't think we're going to have to slow down that much because you just let the centrifugal force you outwards a little bit. And then just come through inside our guys, but we can't overtake them because they're going faster than us. So we're going to try and slipstream and then come out for the overtake. I'm worried about the cars bunching up at this corner. Wasn't too bad, actually. Though we have got a guy on our inside. I'm going to keep him away and defend our 6th position. It's the worst we've done all video. Can't let it end like this, surely. Now that's a deceptive corner because I'm always overtaking the guys and I just end up halfway through the grass. So we're going to be in 10th position here. That's not ideal. Let's try and fight our way back through to first. You know, we can't end the video in 10th position. That's just not the way we'd like to go out. We come through on the inside round the corner. There's 9th. Coming up on 8th position, but everyone's going fast because it's a straight. Can probably pick some positions up at this corner if we're careful, but also we could fly off into oblivion if we're not careful. So it's a dangerous one. Here we go. Up the inside. Don't let the wheels touch, it's bad luck. He had 8th for a second, but we don't want to be pinged off the track. We've run him wide a little bit. I'm going to come through on the inside there, take 8th position back. Can we get 7th? Each position we gain is just a better ending for the video. Right, this is the one where I don't usually brake, and I really should. Because it gains you positions. We're in 6th now. This one requires a little bit of braking, but not too much. And then the big outside corner to finish off the lap. We've got 6th. Can we get through into maybe 4th? I'm going to go for 4th, I think. That would be a respectable place to finish. Get out of my way, I need to finish 4th and you're in 4th. I don't think we're going to finish 4th. I think we're going to finish 5th. But it's a good effort considering where we came from. And it's a good game. Yeah, this is kind of Nay approved. I really like it. I don't know what's happened there at the finish line. We appear to have just completely forgotten how to drive. But yeah, that is Race Pro for the Xbox 360. It's pretty good, developed by Atari, assumedly before they went out of business. Leave in the comments best Atari video games. This can be for the 2600, although I'm not sure there were too many good games for that. The Jaguar, although I'm not sure there were too many good games for that. But any other good Atari games you can think of. Leave a like if you like this video, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you next time in the Armbar Arcade.